All right. We are back at home on our desktop. Going to play for a little bit here. Trying to keep it a little on the lighter side. Couple quitters over here. Just telling me to call sometimes 9-7 off, and when there is dead money in here, I'm tempted to think he might open slightly wider-ish. Seems pretty close. When there's this dead money in there, and then he makes it 3x, I'm probably in the camp of calling. Feels like we're just forced to fold this hand. On the flop there, 7-8 here on the button. I don't think makes it in there. Does not. Why doesn't this show me the percentages? Seems like a spot where we could 1/3. Not really looking to bet bigger, not really looking to like check raise or anything. I think just a third here is the play. And I think we can barrel some hands like this. We don't have very many natural bluffs. But we could also check and then value bet the river. Here our hand's pretty garbage. If we're folding out everything less than ace X, then I don't hate this bet. I think we can value bet any hand like, let's say, sevens through kings. That may be bet 1/3 on the flop. He's not folding ace X anyway, so we might be able to choose a size like this, keeping more of those, keeping more of our value range a little wider. If we were ever hoping them to call 6x, let's say, get him to fold king high, some overcard, yeah, like king highs, threes, fives. I think half pot's pretty good there. I think this guy's a fish. Don't know for sure. Five Deuce is getting called a bunch. I wonder about how now multi-way, how this is going to perform. Probably not that good, even though I'm getting good price. Especially the player number one is short stack. Doesn't help us. I don't know if I'm like supposed to fold this here to this size. Seems close. I mean, I'm already gonna have a bunch of gutters, ace X, queen X diamonds, some like king 3, king 4, king 5 of diamonds. I honestly don't think I have to call this hand. Or like I think it's maybe just a fold right away. If you went 1/3, like $8, I'd probably call. But once it goes that tiny size up, I'll just fold, I guess. I don't know. At least if the ace of diamonds was on the board, then we have the nut flush draw there. He still just has ace X diamonds. I don't know. Seems like a fine fold. Hand here doesn't need that much protection. Isn't going for 3 streets of value or anything, so I'm okay with checking to call the turn bet probably. So he could choose this bet with a variety of hands, a bunch of queen X, maybe some two pairs straights. He has a few, let's say, like maybe pair plus open enders going like this. Maybe not so much. You might check call those sometimes and whatnot. But I think this pair plus the gutter to the nut still can make it into the call to am I down to take pocket tens here and fucking bluff them for 3 streets? Probably not thrilled about it because this guy's obviously a fish, and just starting to pile in money against Jack X, Queen X doesn't seem great. I'm probably okay with just checking. His queen is interesting, reduces his Queen X value hands. He still has hands like, let's say, King Jack, Jack 8, 6, 8. Our King of Hearts is not great, blocking some of his bluffs. We do block, and yeah, some of his two pair kind of got fucked though. But he checks. I'll probably just check again. Not like a super amount of protection needed, really. And probably just half potting the river or something. He's got a bunch of under pairs. I think this is okay to get folded. Rather call like an ace 10. Yeah, seems close. Half pot seems reasonable here for sure. I don't even, yeah. Just thinking even bigger could be good. Some of Buddy's rivered two pair and stuff would have just checked, and there's not like a billion, Jack X and 8X bluffs. There's because a lot of them are paired, and he might not play them like that, turning them to a bluff like right away on the turn. So here the flop checks through. I can have a lot of value. I think choosing something like this is pretty good. Maybe even bigger if I'm repping a certain range right away. Here I don't hate checking the check call probably. So Buddy checks back the flop, calls the turn. I think some ace X is in his range. I can't see that much of a bluff frequency for him on this river. If I check, I mean, I guess he has what? King Jack, King Queen, Queen Jack. How much ace X does he have? Some ace deuce through ace whatever. And those King Queen, King Jack and stuff might not even bluff when checked too. So I'm feeling like we are in a position here when Buddy checks back. I might actually try to take this and bluff it for 2 streets. So I'm probably pretty down to just, we have a decent amount of bluffs. His ace X are chopping, just betting something like this. What the heck is this? Pocket tens. I don't think I can fold the queen high flush. He might raise a 6. And yeah, other than pocket threes, like that's the only hand I'm really worried about here. And I'm still repping like Queen X, 9s, 10s. I don't expect a queen to fold, but I do expect some like 8x, 7x, pocket 6s, maybe like an ace 3, pocket 4s, these types of hands to fold here on the river. So, or at least I think that this is going to get me enough folds here. Check and then bet. Right, I have 9s, 10s, jacks, maybe weaker Queen X. Yeah, and I mean 10s, I don't even really expect to be in his range pre-flop. So yeah, I don't have that hand in his range, right? I think I have more pocket pairs, more suited connectors, so 7x, 8x. I don't expect that hand to fold. I think our line is actually good there, right? Once the flop checks through, you know, I don't know how much I like a check call or anything, and I think we can get it right. Like once he weakens his range, I think he's probably not going to have enough Queen X checking back on the flop. So we're gonna just like print, I think, with getting to fold everything less than Queen X by the river. It feels pretty damn nice. And I think we chose a couple good sizes, like potting and then like a little bit less than pot. Seems pretty great. Or just like a good strat. So it didn't work out, but I think yeah, that's okay. I think we're doing good enough on average there. But I mean, I guess I don't know. We potting with a bunch of those. Yeah, I mean, we keep our value range a little bit wider if we just go like a 2/3 or 3/4 on the turn, and then they go with the follow through for the same area of size on the river. Let's see, Ace Jack here against a big 3-bet. I mean, we're not folding. We're definitely 4-betting a decent amount. I don't know. I haven't seen much from our friend here yet, so I'll just call. Although, yeah, I don't understand my stats yet here. Hand's a pretty good candidate to call here. Not sure that it's so much a raise. I mean, ace 4, ace 5 actual nut flush draws. Well, we can maybe get away with raising when we don't have the draw yet. I don't like it so much. So he bets a third. And our jack blocks some king jack, king, and queen jack bluffs on turn. And he still has, let's say, some turned spades and some clubs. So yeah, we don't fold. He only bets half pot, which is pretty des and weak. And I think his ace queen plus probably just bets bigger, but I'm not gonna raise. And the 4 looks pretty good for me. I mean, I don't think I'm value betting this. I never get called by worse, so I'll take my showdown value that I might have. Feels kind of face up to me on turn to be not, ace jack plus. Like, really felt like a hand, something like that. I mean, it was that time. But Well, a few gutters in his range. I'm pretty down to start putting pressure, let's say, with any like King Jack plus, which might want to choose like a 3/4 pot size. The thing is that on a 9, his Queen 10 always. I think that's okay though. Still, I'm pretty down to go for this. Card connects pretty well with his range, but also I think with my bluffing range on flop. So but I was gonna say I could see him having some leads with him having more hands like Jack 10, Queen 9, 10, 8, pocket tens. I'm honestly not even that. I'm not thrilled with this hand, right? And when I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna end up in this spot with other hands, like let's say, maybe some Queen Jack, 9, 10, Queen 10, all that have better equity. My own, even like my own like heart draws and stuff. I'm pretty down to actually just fold given his larger lead size and the equity of my hand. It's just not a great spot. I don't think, I'll have like pocket queens there and stuff. So I don't think I have to call to that lead. Perhaps I can revise my flop bet size strat there. So I'll mark it down. Felt appropriate. Maybe a half pot is, appropriate there too, but the slight size up seems justified in what my range might want to do, and what that hand is pretty down to do. This is Des. I mean, so our fish here goes for the old limp call. This guy jams. I don't think this is a call. Let's say, let's just do a little calculation though. 9-9 against a range of, like, let's say 10s plus ace king. So that's our equity. We're calling, like 460 to win a pot of 460 plus 650. Need 42%. We don't have that. This guy's range still, I think, has like ace, ace king, tens, jacks, all these hands in it still as well. So, it's a good fold, I think. Obviously, good hand by him. I think our 3-bet there is pretty good. Here, what the heck happens? So limp, I raise, he calls, and we get a lead from our friend here. And I think this hand's fucking close, man. I'll have my I'm just thinking of other hands I'm happier with calling, honestly, when he bets out for like full pot almost. I'm gonna have Jack 10, I'm gonna have pocket jacks, I'm gonna have spades, I'm gonna have pair plus open enders, pair plus backdoor flush draws. Our hand there is actually just pretty shit. On the Jack of spades, it sucks. So like Jack being one of our outs sucks, right? Sure, a 10, a queen, and might be okay, but the queen is obviously even sketch. So doesn't seem great, and I think a fold there is actually pretty good. So our friend here checks back. I think we're pretty in the clear to go for something like a half pot, given the amount of bluffs we have, to possibly value bet or check call, to value bet river or to check call river, right? If he has all, like, let's say ace 10, ace jack, ace king, king 10, king jack, like Jack 10, all one spade or something, Even his pocket threes through pocket like eights with one spade or something. Like there's a lot of hands that call that are worse, and then we can either bet against or check call river. So I think I like even the slightly sized up bet there. Hand needs a decent amount of protection, right? So looks like we have a fish here. I don't know if that's going to warrant opening as wide as king deuce under the gun. Probably not. So I think this gets warranted though. 10-8 MP with the fish in the big blind. Looks like this is the same guy everywhere. This guy, this guy, this guy are might all just be the same. This guy, holy, got some fishies out here right now. Probably a fold here. This shorty and whatnot. King 8 seems close. I don't think so. This is interesting. I mean, we have 2 overs to the board. Our equity isn't great, though. And his range is going to be strong, having cold called in these positions. And I'm kind of, blocking some hands that I'm hoping just auto fold. So I'm not thrilled about a bet. He might always have 3s, 5s, 7s, and 4s and 6s that have a lot of equity. So I'm pretty sure I'm just checking here with this hand. I can rep some maybe over pairs that check on flop and bet later. And we get to just check fold pretty happily, honestly, against what his range is going to be in those positions. And the equity he'll have on that board. Here, I think, we're not really ever getting away from calling these hands in small blind. I'm pretty wanting to raise this to ISO the fish, but it's too weak, I think. Not thrilled about lighting it up on this board against this guy's range that has quite connectivity with it. Yeah, if I had 1 heart, it might change things quite a bit. Not even calling this gutter. Our equity's kind of shit against his betting range, I think. Maybe it's like a check call because we have a little bit of showdown value with the king. When we block the nuts and he starts polarizing. He also just has a shitload of value, though. Just ISOing for a nice healthy size. I mean, can stick with the 20 or the 17.5. This feels pretty nice here in this spot on the button against him. And the big blind flops a shitload of equity. Our hand is close. I think multi-way we just want to bet, though. I mean, we're going to call here against this fish lead. We have a club. We have the nut gutter. We have top pair. I don't know. Just not going to fold this hand yet against this guy. And this guy's still open to probably doing some raising here and stuff, which, you know, when he does, we're pretty just off the hand, I think. How much like ace king or 9x this guy got seems like a decent chunk of 9x. Yeah, we're not going to fold for this small size considering we could be ahead of some of his 2-pair. Maybe he does some dumb shit with like a king jack or king queen or ace queen, or I don't know, and we can improve to with a jack or a queen river, so we'll call. And now this is maybe not that weird. Pretty okay calling ace high here, I think, to hope to now chop, I guess. I don't think I'm going to fold for this smallest bet. This guy might just bet a 9 bigger, honestly. And I could see it. I mean, although, yeah, now we chop or we beat like king, queen, ace, queen, pocket kings, pocket aces, and kings we lose to. Already discounted given the way the hand kind of went down. But yeah, I'm just not going to fold to this guy. If he has a 9, good job. That's an interesting one. I didn't really consider too much of those ones, I guess. And given that I think our hand was actually the best, our range looks like these highs and stuff. Yeah, given that I think our hand was the best on the turn there very often, I think I would have liked a maybe actually a turn raise, but it seems like we were just doing pretty fucking good. On this turn, I mean, we have the king of spades, so we don't need that. And our hand's doing pretty good. And we're crushing a lot of hands he has, right? Like any pair with a spade, I'm pretty happy with when he just calls pretty often. So I'm pretty down to actually just bet like a half pot. We really just want to get called quite often here, I think. But we want to bet and get some value. So I don't think we want to go huge, but maybe, you know. And he doesn't raise the flop. He'll never fold if I just jam a 10 here, and we have equity to improve if he does call a flush. So he has a bunch of worse 10x, and he's a fish, so I'm probably just gonna jam, honestly, and get it in on the turn here. He's got like what, 8, 10, 9, 10, 10 jack, queen 10, all these hands that don't fold. He's a fish, so I'm pretty comfortable just getting this in here, and you know, maybe we deny some equity from the ace of spades or something like that, or he calls it and we get it in good. So against a fish here, I think this particular combo is pretty nice to just get the money in right now. It feels like can't see a fish folding like a worse 10, but I mean, fuck, if he does, then that is like, I don't know, kind of shit, I guess. I don't know. That seems okay, but I could be off and wrong on that. Like leaving some, bluffs in his range. Who knows? Maybe we denied him some equities from some gutters and whatever. I think I'm okay with the play. Not thrilled about an ISO with this hand. I'm probably just gonna limp also behind. Pretty down for a check raise against this guy. If he's gonna bet his ace-x and his gutters and whatnot, we'll get a juicy check raise into jam turn. On safe turn. Oh wait, I thought we had king six. Good thing I double checked that. Yeah, just calling now. King six would have been down to raise. Probably calling turn, making my range look like ace-x. He won't bluff anymore on riv, and we have equity to improve, so pretty okay with a call. And then once he bets again on river, I think his range is just ace-x pretty often, so I'm gonna fine with finding the fold on the river, especially these milky looking sizes. Like, what am I folding here? He's just got a strong hand. King three offsuit, and not feeling great about a 3-bet pre-flop. So yeah, not when it's not in the range and it's off by a little bit. Couple overcards here. Check raising or just betting. I'm pretty cool with just a half pot, maybe right away. Keep his range a little bit wide, and then we can blast away on some turns. It's a pretty good turn, I think. Not convinced about it. You know what I actually like here is a check call. I think we have some showdown value, and we have our value range of jack X, queens, kings. That's probably checking pretty often here, and we can get him to fold on through, I think, pretty often. So yeah, I mean, my jack X plus is in the clear to value bet, I think, for a pretty large size. So deuces, fours, fives, sixes, sevens, all a lot of hands that I think are gonna be in a tough spot here. I don't expect jack X to fold, but I think those other hands are all are in a tough spot and maybe fold pretty reliably. Or enough of the time where this bet is making us some money. So go for it and revise strat later. Seems like the plan. Well, we have a lot of equity here. I'm pretty cool with a half pot, I guess. The range he's going to call is probably going to be pretty freaking static. So just half potting, maybe bigger. Well, I'm okay with just starting with this. Maybe we'll get a raise out of him going smaller. I don't know. Probably not, though. We got the fold, which feels pretty nice on that last hand. I think our process for the hand was pretty damn clean. I think the issue with this hand, with the nines, I didn't really, I don't know, realize is that once this guy limps and this guy raised, I'm probably just wanting to call nines because I really wanted, call hit set with this guy in pot or whatever. And if I get re-raised with this guy, it really sucks, right? So just calling rather than putting in that 3-bet, I guess. I don't know though. When Buddy's limping so many hands, it's pretty good to just raise, get him out of there, and play in position with the nines against this guy. Like, I don't know. And I guess like if this guy's ISOing like a little bit wide against this guy, then just 3-betting nines. It seems pretty like it might be close anyway. So like there's reasons to just raise and take it down pre-flop and like whatever, but then also just calling is gonna have quite a bit of EV with this guy. So yeah, tough to say. It's gotta be kind of close. All right. Well, we're back. So this texture I think is pretty good to just go like pretty much full pot on. Any open ender, any pair plus flush draw, any gutter. It's gonna be in a tough spot. So I think choosing something like almost full pot is pretty good. Maybe just full potting. Let's go with that. And then here, Buddy Squeezes. Yeah, I think because given the stacks and stuff like that, this is pretty much just going to get shivved in. The money in here already, and then this guy's size doesn't make sense to go anything. Do anything else really. Great to just take down pre-flop. That's pretty beauty. We get a total brick here, and yeah, this is just going to be an overbet spot when we have so many bluffs. I think, and he's got all these pair plus flush draws. He's got some pretty good bluff catchers. Let's see, 70 times 1.75. Let's go something like that. We're just looking to get stacks in. I think Matt would choose something like this. I could see him going even bigger. I think this is pretty reasonable. We do have the king of diamonds, so that, I don't know what that changes actually. Pretty tempting to open this, and maybe not from here because these guys are looking kind of tight-ish. I guess not enough though, no. And then I mean, that's fish in the small blind, right? It makes me want to, but he's not like majorly wide calling all hands, so don't need to widen up that much, I don't think. HUD settings. Well, seems like a pretty profiting squeeze situation here. It's gonna happen. Let's see, 45. So yeah, maybe something like this seems pretty reasonable. This feels like a 1/3 given the gap between those cards. Oh, all right. So ace jack suited, pocket tens. Those are kind of the main hands of concern. I'm pretty in the camp of like half potting this spot. I don't know about this one. I don't think we're gonna blast away. Could see a half pot or just a classic. I might just go with this. Not exactly sure. And here, chooses large size. Not thrilled about calling this hand, removing some main diamond bluffs. Don't have very much showdown value. Do have some though. Hand doesn't need that much protection. But like, it's worth maybe a small bet. And I'm probably down to check call this river here. Could be a min bet. I think a min bet could have worked kind of nice. Put him in a weird spot with ace highs. Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna fold here. He could have any two cards that just don't have a spade between like the 8 and the king, and I don't think he's value betting a king like this now. So yeah, I'll have some of those. But any like, 9, 10, queen, jack, 4, 5, like all these hands, no spade probably, but maybe they don't bluff as big. So it seems close, but pretty down for like a 1/3 type of strat here. Easy fold to a bet. Opens big, chooses big size. I mean, fuck, we're not going to go anywhere just yet, but it's got a lot of, I guess, let's say ace jack plus. The main bluffs would be somewhat king, queen, queen 10. This 5 is perceived to maybe be a bit better for me making more 2 pairs. And he does choose a check. So he bets big, checks on card that is pretty kind of better and middling for me. Am I actually looking to get some protection by betting something here on the turn? Seems pretty close. Probably just going to choose a check. This feels like a spot where we can bet. And I'll just check this one down now. Call 1 here, maybe. Oh, I guess it's a half pot. I mean, I should have just made a small 3-bet against this guy. I think I thought because of the stack I didn't want to 3-bet, but I could just 3-bet to a small size. In position, half. I mean, this just like the straight draw, the flush draw. The fact that he's betting full range, let's say, on the flop, and then now he checks. So I think we can choose a 1/3 type of line with some pairs. And now we're just hoping to fold out some like ace highs, which, I mean, does the fish even fold enough here once he check calls the turn? It's tough to say. Maybe. I mean, that's not folding. Doesn't say much to us. I would say in this scenario, checking back some 9x. We just need too much protection, I think. So I'm pretty in the camp of like maybe betting a big one and then checking the turn. Because we actually get the protection by betting a large size here. And now we can check on the turn here and try to call a river bet. The only deuce X, I mean, he has, let's say, does choose the lead. And he doesn't choose it. We have a lot of bluffs, though. And we might fold a decent amount. I don't think I can fold this hand. His only deuce X is what, like an 8? I mean, this is fucking gonna be tough. Ace deuce. Like, do those even always call the flop? Maybe only the ones with backdoor flush draw, which would be ace deuce of spades, right? Like here, but he chooses a half pot size, which seems kind of des. I think it's a fold. I mean, what hands get here now? Queen 10 for him. Might have still some bluffs. The tough thing about this one is that a bunch of my calls, right, have hands like, let's say, Jack 10, Queen Jack, Queen 10 in them, right? So his bluff frequency might go down. And his, like, Queen, so I think this is a fold. I really do. It's like half pot, though. The fuck? I'm torn on that last one. What's he bluffing there? And is he value betting worse? Like, I don't think so. So I think it's a, I don't know. I think it's a, on average, probably going to be a pretty good fold, even though, yeah, that's a fucking doozy to make, really. This is getting folded a lot, so I'm going to do it. Usually I'm going to 45. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Go all in, bro. Come on. I mean, this has got to be a tiny bet. No, or a check. 108. I think a bet small and then possibly check call or something like that is pretty good. we have some showdown value, and we're gonna have other hands where we want to bluff here, bet, check, bet. So I think this one, yeah, we just check and hope to beat his like ace 10, ace jack, maybe bluff catch the riv. I'm not sure. Probably not. Bluffs would be like king 10, king jack, jack 10 of spades, maybe some hearts that didn't bet the turn. Our hand does a pretty good job at not fucking blocking shit. And I might choose to check. Like, would I ever check like kings, aces, jacks, tens here again? Because if I would, his value bets wouldn't be as big as this and whatnot. So it's a little bit sus to me. Definitely feels a little sus. And this does seem like one of the best hands to call, but I still don't think I'm going to call. It's only the backdoor spades. I don't think his ace high is bluff. So we're looking at like 3 or 4 bluffs and like, you know, potential, like already potentially a decent amount of value bets. If you realize I just have like ace queen, or sorry, ace king, ace jack, ace 10 a lot there. And maybe even some like other worse pairs, right? Like some ace 5 or some shit, whatever the low pairs were on the board. Ace 4 or something. I guess there's a decent more, like let's say 8, 9, 9, 10, jack 10, jack 9, king 10, king jack, all of hearts that don't want to get like check jammed on or raised on the turn, that just want to realize equity. So if those bluffs are all, yeah, maybe it's just got to be a call, right? When he goes that big with his value bet on the river, seems a little weighted to like if my range, yeah, I think I would have liked maybe just a call. If I think his bluffs are bluffing turn a decent amount though. All right, we hit a set. Woo! Got a fish here. This spot really feels like it's gonna be a I mean, how do we not just raise here? I feel like this fish is never gonna fold a king. It's never gonna fold a draw. Just getting money in on the turn here seems pretty reasonable. Maybe just probably just bigger than this. Oh, wow. Yeah, bigger. This guy snap calls. Just jam. Oh, wow. This is quite a brick. All right. We don't have that much time. So if he has any... King X probably just is not folding. I might just bet like a pot size or something. I just don't have enough time to do anything. Like on this, right? Like he's gonna have some nut flush draws. Let's say some ace jack, ace queen, maybe queen jack. Like these types of hands I might bluff when check to, and I don't even know if he's betting a king X all the time when I check because my range is kind of polarized from the turn. So when I actually check, he might just check back sometimes because he's kind of like scared to get check raised on, right? So here I'm usually going, 55 out in this, make it like a 65. Seems pretty reasonable. Missed a little bit of info here that me and this guy are deeper. But worked out just fine. This is an interesting spot when this guy goes so small. I'm kind of wanting to just jam this hand. I think this hand can just get jammed. Against, when this guy flats, this guy makes such a small raise. Nine's going to be doing okay with whatever he freaking clicked back here probably. So jamming, I think I like this. Godmer fold ace queen suited, so there you go. Hand doesn't need any protection. Pretty okay to check it and start blasting away on turn and river. Seems pretty good to me. This is interesting. I mean, Buddy Bet's so small. It's a little bit tempting to raise to actually just try to get money in ASAP. Probably just check, although he's never folding a jack, and he's probably never folding a king or like a hand like queen 10, but he'll check them back a bunch. So when he's got a lot of check, and here I'll probably just go for something like a half pot, get some fold equity, and we could probably fold to a raise. I'm pretty down for this lead. It's not going to continue to bluff. It's going to be checking back a bunch of hands that have equity, and we just get it all against a jack right away, kind of here, possibly. So we choose the half here, which I think is fine. Maybe just smaller, but I mean, smaller the more we get kind of dicked with and raised, which I don't like. But he doesn't have that many 5x. It blocks some ace-5 off. He's got, what, like 5-7, 4-5, king-5, queen-5 suited, so a decent little amount. So, I mean, a group of hands we're kind of worried about is some overpairs, really. Which, honestly, against this whole range of, like, pocket 7, 6, 7, shit like that, I think I can choose another half-pot bet, and he's got to have worse 8x here as well. But maybe against a bunch of those hands, we're just not pushing great equity, so I wouldn't hate actually checking back and not allowing us to get check raised here. And we can just kind of bluff catch the river a decent amount. Yeah, this is Des now. So now feeling like I should not have played it this way and bet the turn. Felt like we could just get so much value from some hands and put him in a weird spot. But now, I mean, when our range is full of overpairs, I am like kind of doubting people taking enough, say like 6-7, pocket 7s, 7-8, let's say, and turning them into a bluff. Now our hand here, though, is a pretty fucking good bluff catcher, I would say. I'm feeling pretty in the damn camp of calling, but I just don't think it's getting bluffed enough. But yeah, I think just, who knows, maybe we save some bones there by just betting the turn and kind of narrowing his range to 5x, which we're not doing great against. Whereas, we check back, give a bunch of hands in his range free equity on like to the river card by just checking. Whereas we can just bet and then fold to a raise like pretty comfortably if we think those bluffs aren't going to happen enough. Maybe because we don't know that, we can just check, but it seems okay. It really does seem okay. But yeah. Like, he's probably just going to check call like his 7, 6, 7, worse 8x. Yeah. But that might not be enough stuff. Especially if it's like 9s and 10s a bunch. Maybe our size on turn can be a third rather than half, though. That might make it kind of better.